When I sat down to write this speech, I put on a workout shirt that my Aunt Betty wore in her last months while she underwent treatment for Lyme disease. She died from complications of Lyme in 2002 at the age of 57. I wanted her spirit to be with me today as I prepared for today. So Aunt Betty, this one's for you. I was originally diagnosed in 2009 after 29 years of misdiagnoses. I was diagnosed with Bartonella and Babesia. After a 22-month course of oral antibiotics, I have now tested clear for Bartonella for 2 years. It is possible to heal. I am still working on that pesky Protomyzoa rheumatica, however, but I'll get them. Things that I thought that I would never be doing 5 years ago include considering coffee enemas, scheduling laughter time every day with a dose of the television comedy Big Bang Theory, writing my second book, taking extra time to play with my puppies because it just makes me feel good, going without makeup for weeks at a time, taking 50 pills a day and being grateful for every single one of them, knowing each has a specific healing task, and drinking green smoothies willingly. Green smoothies are the metaphor for how my healing started. 3.5 years ago, when I started treatment, my physician was very gentle, and in a subtle way, he told me I would be going through many changes in order to heal. I heard him, but I didn't really understand what changes I would undergo. I did hear him say over and over again, your number one job is to heal. Every decision you make should be based on the question, will this help me heal? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. First came the learning to say no, restricting my schedule, required resting periods. I didn't go outside after 5 p.m. I only did one activity per weekend. Now, some of this happened as a result of my meds and my treatment schedule, and surviving those cute little episodes we call herxes. Sometimes I didn't have a choice of staying in bed for the weekend. It's just what I had to do. But after the first 6 months, I noticed I was getting better. At the beginning, I also originally scored high for arsenic poisoning. I read a 2006 study from the Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy that intimated I might want to start eating organic chicken. I did, and my arsenic poisoning disappeared. So I branched out and now eat mostly organic foods, fruits, and vegetables. Then 6 months into my treatment, my physician suggested I try green smoothies to help with some of my digestive problems. My reply was quick. Next topic, because I am so not doing that. But he planted a seed, and when I was miserable enough and ready, I reconsidered his suggestion. And then a fellow Limey urged me to try it. He reminded me that green smoothies reduce inflammation. They help to heal the digestive tract. They regulate the body. They're great sources of B vitamins. And I kept saying, if it doesn't taste good, I am not drinking it. He gave me a recipe and I tried it. Just fruit, spinach, and water in a blender. And I liked it. And it helped my digestive tract a lot. So I made another one and another one and another one. Then my husband came in. He wanted to make a few suggestions. If any of you know my husband, you know how that went. He wanted me to add carrots and celery and chia seeds and his favorite, beets. He likes the nutrient-dense green smoothies. Come on, you need to drink these. They're good for you. But it came down to this for me. Either I drink a simple one with fruit and veggies, or I don't drink them at all. So he drinks the nutrient-dense ones, and I don't. I keep my green smoothies simple. Just fruit, vegetables, and water. If I want to get exotic, I add in raw, unfiltered honey or coconut oil. But for the most part, I like them simple. And when I drink them, my whole body feels better in an indescribable way. It's just an overall feeling of well-being that disappears when I go more than 3 days without them. So now I drink green smoothies because they're good for me, because I like them, and because they make me feel better. I know they are a part of my healing process. But green smoothies are a lot like our treatment protocols. One size does not fit all. Each one is different with different ingredients. No two are the same. There is no one right way. Everyone responds differently, and therefore the differences need to be respected. Everyone has their own pathway to healing. So if your healing includes chia seeds and beets, more power to you. But if you need just fruit, greens, water, and a teaspoon of honey, go for it. Thank you.
Okay, and next up we have some of our patients with Lyme disease. We have Miss Bambi Albert.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? You're looking at a healthy Limey right now. I've been in remission for 8 months. As long as we don't get another infection this year, it'll be longer. But I'm also one of those success stories that got remission through a completely herbal protocol. I have completely cut out doctors in my life. Completely. The medical system has poisoned me enough. With that said, I have 2 things I have to read here today. The first one is from Cheryl's Lyme page. She's from New Jersey. She could not make it. Wishes, hopes, and dreams are all it seems I have these days. Wishing for warmer days, hoping for a more peaceful future for humanity, and dreaming of what I may still accomplish in the years ahead. I'm more a dreamer than a doer these days. That's all right, though, because some of my dreams have become reality, and I'm really proud of the work I did to make some small things happen. I have a lifetime of a bucket list that keeps changing. Some things are added, some things are taken away. My time in the Amazon forest is off the list, but replaced with creating a legacy, or at least great memories for my grandchildren. Living with chronic illness is no cakewalk. That's for sure. Living with this particular disease seems beyond unbelievable because of what we have to go through, just to get doctors to listen to the laundry list of symptoms and come out of the visit with yet another list of antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, and being told there's nothing that can be done for you. I can tell you the number of times I've left the doctor's office in tears, ready to commit myself to a psychiatric facility. I felt foolish, doubting myself and wondering if it's all possible to be a hypochondriac and not know it. Not a single doctor in 30 years ever asked or thought to ask what my lifestyle was. Had they asked, just maybe one of them would have looked at the potential of vector-borne illness. I've been given quinine for severe muscle cramps and spasms. I've been given maximum dose that could be taken of Vioxx, and what was taken off the market, it was then Celebrex for the horrible joint pain. I took Tramadol for the constant headaches that turned into migraines regularly and the joint pain. Max Salt was added to the list, prednisone for inflammation. You all heard all these. I mean, bone aching, exhaustion, but what about where by about 1 p.m. at work, I just couldn't move anymore and had to find excuses to sit in the office to do paperwork. Memory lapses, loss of words, confusion became a huge problem. My knees and elbows were giving out. I had surgery to repair tendons in my right elbow and still not working. I've had gallbladder scans, chest x-rays, liver scans, thyroid scans, CT scans of the brain, EEG, EKGs, echocardiograms, sinus x-rays, stress tests, and ultrasounds from the neck to the ankles. I've had blood work for everything under the sun. At least that's what my doctor said. Chronic sinus infections led to more steroids. When all of these drugs didn't work and all these tests came back normal with the exception of a faulty heart valve and growth in my thyroid and getting progressively worse, my doctor hit the proverbial wall and referred me to mental health. I accepted my fate and went to see the psychologist to see what sort of mental illness I had that's causing me such misery. I let loose in the visit, crying through the whole story of events that brought me there. She had me describe in detail my symptoms and events surrounding some of my worst flares. By the end of the hour, she told me that for sure I had something physical going on and that the doctors need to keep trying to find the cause. What a weird feeling at the end of that visit. I'm not crazy, woohoo! But I'm still in pain and look for, and I just gave into the idea that I might just live until I die. I was at a point of being very fed up with being told I'm fine. Later in time, I ended up in New Jersey to help my daughter and her husband with the kids until they got out of the military. My daughter had been sick for a while with a fever and fatigue and headache, among other symptoms, most of which sounded very much like mine. She had what doctors thought was an infected bug bite on her toe months earlier. In her research to find out what the cause could be, her doctors had no idea what was causing her symptoms. She had stumbled upon a tick-borne illness. She made lots of sense in her case because the military base she worked on was drowning in ticks. Almost daily, there were people pulling ticks off of themselves or finding them crawling up their legs. She asked to be tested, and sure enough, she had Lyme disease and Bartonella. Keeping her story short here, because her fight was so incredibly long, eventually involving a congresswoman from California trying to help her to get treated. She lost that 3-year battle, and someday I'll attempt to tell you the whole story. I found an internal medicine doctor that would test me. There was no hesitation at all by the doctor because Lyme disease is commonly found in this area of New Jersey. My results came back, and sure enough, Lyme disease and ehrlichiosis and majorly high numbers of EBV tests, which explains the fatigue. I was able to get treatments for about 6 months and had some improvements, but with the loss of medical insurance, I wasn't able to continue. That's a story we all know. It's been nearly 3 years and only using some herbal remedies once in a while to keep symptoms at bay, but I've slid back to where I was to begin with. So here I am doing what I can, sitting here at the computer with a new or evolving set of wishes, hopes, and dreams. My story and my daughter's story is being repeated thousands of times over and over. Victims with the exact or nearly the same experiences and stories to tell. So many of them housebound, unable to get out of bed, or confined to wheelchairs. I thank God for the advent of social networking and the internet, as this helps enable people to be able to reach out to others. My wishes, hopes, and dreams for the moment, I wish the attacks on these patients that have suffered for so long comes to an end. I hope that the Infectious Disease Society of America, the Internal Lyme and Associated Diseases Society, find a way to get together for the one goal of eradicating this disease, or at the very least, to come to a middle ground, somewhere that better treatment options or more options are allowed to patients. I dream of what it would be like to have my life back. See all those that are so very ill be able to take a walk outside in the sunshine, or go for a ride on horseback, or grab a board one more time and surf the waves. That was from Cheryl. Now me. When the sirens fell. I just wanted a chance to speak to you all about what I've been going through and what you've all been going through. As you all know, I am in remission, have been in remission for 8 months, all through herbal. I'm the herbal girl. I don't do any doctors. I haven't seen a doctor in years. I always see an herbalist. He takes care of all of my needs now. I believe most, if not all of you know and or recognize me. In case you don't, where the hell have you been? My name is Bambi, and unless you happen to know another, no last name is necessary. I have been advocating for our rights to choose our personal remedy for many years now. I won't bore you with all my personal story. You almost seen it anyway. For those of you that don't, look me up on Facebook or catch me later and I'll give you a rundown. The sight of you all absolutely thrills me, as does the progress we have made. I'm not here to complain about the IDSA or the Medical Society. I'm here to remind you that we have made strides. We have made great strides in the past 8 years that I've been dealing with this. We've achieved this progress, yeah. We've achieved this by contacting our local, state, and federal officials, holding local rallies, handing out Lyme brochures at malls, carnivals, nature walk entrances. Wherever I go, I carry them with me. I don't let anybody walk by without taking one. I want to thank you all for your support of me and each other. Because without each other, we wouldn't have anything. We all know that. If I hadn't had your support over the last several years, I don't know where I'd be. The education I've gotten from all of you is so much more than I've gotten from the medical field. So much more. I hope over time that we can all be well. We don't have to have these anymore, especially in this cold weather. And we can just keep in contact because we're friends, not because we're limey. Because that's what we want. We're tired of green, although green has become my favorite color. What is up with that? And my speech is done, but I want to tell you all how much I love each and every one of you. You've become so close to me. And I'm hoping we don't have to come back next year, but if we do, I'll be here. Thank you.